For fat people, they're unable to stop eating cake and foods that are making them bigger. For me, I'm finding it very, very difficult to stop staying up late. That is I guess my addiction, the thing that's really messing me up, I would say. Last night, Sunday night, I got into my apartment. It was 8 p.m. and I just started tidied up for 4 hours. Like, the place is spick and span, to be honest, but I did not stick to my domino habit of being in bed with a book by 9:30. And then once I had tidied, then I felt kind of like I wanted time to enjoy. So I watched a bit of a podcast, and it's just same thing repeating. So I felt pretty angry about that this morning, but yeah, I'm gonna flip it because I adopted the coach's mindset. What would I say to somebody if they were my client? Or what I would say to them, I'm doing this live, this kind of thought experiment. I would say to them, well done for cleaning your house. That's a great thing to do. How could you meet that intention and be in bed with a book by 10:30? And also probably check in with their goal. Where are you going? Just keep checking in. What is that end destination point? So I think I would say that there has to be a cutoff of 9 p.m. Come what may, whatever happens, there has to be a cutoff at 9 p.m. If I want to tidy the house for a few hours, which, to be honest, it felt really great to do. It's very cleansing. It's very good for you to do that, clear your living space. It does something on a deeper level. Then you got to be home by 6 p.m. Getting home at 8 p.m. and starting a big clear through is the wrong thing to do. So, lesson learned. And I would ask them, what would make you feel great by the end of today? What would make today a win? And for me, making today a win would be smashing through 5 work blocks. But that starts for me with just smashing through the first one to get momentum. If I do one work block today on bare ass minimum, like MIT, if you're following his method, most important task, what's the 20% work that will make the difference? It's reading a book at the minute, which is changing my mindset, and doing another module of this online course. So that would be my bare ass minimum. And then lifting weights tonight. So getting my 10 pages. I've already done my morning mobility prayer, cold shower, had a special drink this morning. And then to do my 10 pages, my 1 hour work block, which will really be 2. If I do 1, I'll do 2 at least. And then going to the weights gym and then lifting weights at the gym. That would turn today into a better day. All right. And if I got 3 work blocks in, and even 4, that would be, I would have rescued the day. So it starts with just focusing on one. Lastly, I'm reading this book by Tony Robbins. I've been to a few of his seminars. I've listened to a ton of his stuff, but this is, I believe, really his seminal piece, his masterpiece. It's different. It's different than the courses. With a book, you have to slow down. At his courses, he speaks at a high pace. It's high energy. The courses are great if you're in the right place to receive the information and actually action it. If you go to these self-help courses, which I think a lot of people do, plonk your backside in the seat, slouch and say, feed me, fix me, I think it's a mistake. I understand why people do that. I've done that before to a degree, I guess, although I did play full out as he suggests when I've been to all of them, really. But this book really spoke to me, and there's one thing in particular in the very first chapter. He speaks about three things that you need the most important things. I swear, I just showed you the wrong page. It's that page there. The 3 things that you really need for lasting change. The first is to raise your standards, and the second is to change your limiting beliefs. And this is what I've been speaking about in my videos till now. I did not realize that I had such powerful limiting beliefs when it comes to me making money, when it comes to me achieving some of the goals I have. Like, this has been crippling me, and I'm so excited that I've become aware of this. I'll read this to you. If you raise your standards but don't really believe you can meet them, if you raise your standards, so you set a goal but you don't believe you can really meet them, you've already sabotaged yourself. You won't even try. Your beliefs dictate the actions you'll take, which then reinforces your beliefs. So if you believe you can't succeed, you'll put 20% effort in. It'll be 100% effort you put in, but really 20% real intention behind those actions, and you won't achieve the goal, which then reinforces the goal that you can't achieve. It's a terrible, terrible thing, but great when you become aware of it. You won't even try. You'll be lacking the sense of certainty. You need certainty that allows you to tap in to the deepest capacity that's within you, even as you read this. Our beliefs are like unquestioned commands telling us how things are, what's possible, what's impossible, what we can and cannot do. They shape every action, every thought, and every feeling that we experience. As a result, changing our belief systems is central to making any real lasting change in our lives. And I'll finish with this. We must develop a sense of certainty that we can and will meet the new standards before we actually do. Now, I'm speaking to myself. I know how hard that is when you've got a whole load of evidence to suggest that you cannot achieve a certain goal, but you have to start to find a way to create a vision. And I think Tony will do that in that book. Create a vision. And this is why I've also got this on the back burner. Robert Dilts. He actually worked with the 2 creators of NLP, Richard Bandler and John Grinder, and he wrote this excellent book, which I'm only about a third of the way through, about belief systems. But you can see how many notes I've taken on this. It's your beliefs, and I've heard, you hear these things and it's cliche and then it lessens its power, but beliefs are so fundamentally important, and we all have them, but a lot of us are not aware of them. It's only when, say, for example, with me, I'll just show you that page there. It's only, for example, with me, when you've been trying so damn hard, and you know you're putting the effort in, but you keep sabotaging yourself. You put all of the preparatory effort in, you do all of the preparation to then apply and say post or do something, and then you just stop yourself at that last step. And when that keeps happening, eventually you look at it, and hopefully you have a friend or a couple of friends around you to say, hey man, like, why are you not pulling the trigger on that? You realize there's something deeper within. So all of these are tied together, these books. I've read Release Your Brakes. Dan Pena will not coach someone until they've read this. Dan Pena, he calls himself the $1 trillion man. But yeah, this showed me how important it is. Again, cliche, so people think, yeah, I know that. But to focus, have a clear vision of what it is that you want. This, I'm so glad I've picked this up. I thought I knew Tony Robbins inside out, but this is just different reading this stuff, the way it's clearly laid out, and then deeper belief systems. But this, I think I'll read first. I'm reading another book. Anyway, yeah, that's the video for today. Fell off the horse. This is a real raw journey. Yes, my addiction seems to be, I'm not going to say that actually. The thing that I'm next to overcome is going to bed, being in bed with a book by 21:30. That's my one thing. I know it. So failed again, but won because I turned it into a learning lesson.